Supreme Court heard oral arguments on Monday in a case on the constitutional rights of homeless people. At issue is a law in Grants Pass, Oregon, that punished individuals for camping out in public, making it illegal to use things like pillows, blankets, or boxes to protect oneself while sleeping outside. First-time offenders would be fined, with those fines escalating if not paid, which they wouldn't be because the person is homeless. Repeat offenders could be banned from city property and even face jail time. 3 individuals who were punished under the law sued Grants Pass, claiming the ordinance amounts to cruel and unusual punishment against the unhoused, particularly when the city doesn't offer enough space and shelters for them to go to. The Washington Post reported that there are officially 600 homeless people in the city, another 1,000 who are borderline homeless, yet Grants Pass does not have a shelter. There is a transitional housing program run by a religious organization, but it only offers 138 beds, and it has strict rules on who can access them. Because of that, lower courts that have heard the case have so far agreed with the plaintiffs that the law is cruel and unusual. But now the right-wing Supreme Court gets its chance to weigh in. Court watchers reported that justices appeared to be divided on how to rule, with the conservative flank wanting to defer to local lawmakers to craft policy on homelessness, in other words, keep the law in place. Liberals, on the other hand, cited prior court precedent in 1962 that barred California from punishing people for simply being addicted to drugs, determining that it is cruel and unusual to punish someone for an involuntary status. The liberal bloc contended that the same applies to homelessness. Justice Sonia Sotomayor noted how the law is discriminatory against homeless people because police won't be ticketing babies or couples with blankets who fall asleep in the park, or stargazers, only the unhoused. And Justice Elena Kagan noted that sleeping is as essential as breathing to humans, and argued the city couldn't possibly outlaw breathing outside. She asked, quote, "Where do we put them if every city, every village, every town lacks compassion? Are they supposed to kill themselves not sleeping?" An attorney for the city responded, claiming that it's also unsafe to be homeless. So-called anti-camping laws have popped up in municipalities around the country as local policymakers rely more and more on the police to address homelessness rather than sound economic policy. Outside the Supreme Court on Monday were protesters defending the rights of the unhoused, and Congresswoman Cori Bush appealed to the court to not criminalize being homeless.
So we're here today to demand the Supreme Court support humanity, adhere to constitutional precedent, and protect the rights of our unhoused neighbors. And let's be clear, a person should never be punished for not being able to afford rent a home. A person should never be punished for sleeping outside or in a car when they simply have no other place to go. A person should never be punished for simply existing.
So here's an idea. Instead of throwing the unhoused in prison, we throw them in each of the more than 16 million homes around the country that sit vacant and unused. Housing is a human right, not something that the rich should just be able to hoard. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our new videos. Also, if you want to see Means Morning News in its complete form, not just the clips we post here, head on over to Means TV and get access to all our new episodes and our entire backlog, plus tons of other great movies and original TV shows.